2, 3, and all the nets and everything. It all looks very primitive, and well, I guess you would say that it is, but it works. There's that levee going up there. That's one side of the fish pond, and then here, and then into another fish pond right over there, a very big one. What's happening over there, Beth?
What? I think that's
Oh, is it just the wind?
yeah, it's the wind. I think it's a caretaker's house, and then it's abandoned.
So that's a big house over there. Look,
Yeah.
that's quite
And
quite a posh house.
yeah, yeah.
Well, comparatively speaking. And we've been left far behind.
Oh. But when we pick up bagungon or any snails, we prefer to have not a house near.
Why?
Because you know poop,
Because what?
the poop,
Oh, you mean they're pooping into...
yeah, the animal, the human poop, the animal poop, you know.
Ah, right.
So better,
That's a lot of poop.
yeah, better to be safe. Just we get some snails over at the end there.
And of course, with all that poop there, the snails are eating the poop.
Yeah, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, delicious.
Ah, well, after a fashion.
And this is very good
Yeah,
idea.
and this all goes along, look.
Yeah, it goes to the other end.
It's actually quite, it really is quite beautiful for a walk. Once you get out to this, we're actually on the top of a levee is the only way that I have to describe it, but it starts off man-made and it's raised, and then they reinforce it with all of these trees. Then it becomes flattened out, and they're actually mangroves, aren't they? If you look. And so it becomes a whole ecosystem of its own. All of these trees are supporting all kinds of wildlife, giving shade. It really is beautiful. And now here we are at the what Beth might be calling a poop factory. I'm not sure where that poop is coming, but they built a huge platform there that was on top of what was already high rock, and there's their seating area, their little meeting house with the shade. Look, it's an extensive little, tiny compound. And that, I imagine, is the sea. And certainly if that's the sea, to have any snails out of that particular spot, would you? And all of these white rocks. And then over there, if you look, there's this really unusual kind of rock that's here that I see. See, look at that over there. See, that's very volcanic looking. The trouble with this is that everybody else has seen this a million times, and yet for me it's really very unusual and really attractive. And now the bushes are dropping away and it's more exposed, so sorry, you'll be having the wind. Nothing worse than having the wind. Now we did do a video when we were invited by Michael and Bonnie, and we went out to see a harvesting of one of the fish ponds, and it was very interesting the way that they fed it through these different, well, they drained that big well, it was like a huge lake like that, and they actually drained it, and as it drained off, it drained in a certain direction, and it took the fish with it. And as the fish went through these various waterways, it led them down finally to one waterway, which was the end for them. I guess you can hear me coughing. I'm still recovering from my little bout. I think it was like 24-hour flu. Now here, very often, if people actually feel sick, they go to the ER and they check themselves into a hospital. And if they, certainly one of the most common things would be that they would be dehydrated, so straight away they get them hooked up on a drip, get them rehydrated. They might stay in a couple of days and then they come out again. And as a Westerner, the idea of being checked into a hospital is, well, that's quite alien to me. I mean, people in the UK, and I guess in America too, people check themselves into a hospital through the emergency room for something very serious. They don't, when they're just feeling a bit sick, they don't go to the hospital. And yet here they do. And Beth is talking to me saying, would you prefer to go to the hospital? Well, what we had done was, we'd done what they did. Okay. Here's here's the cross. So, as I was saying, what we did was, if you've seen The Godfather, one of my favourite movies, and if you've seen The Godfather, you'll know that in times of siege, times of emergency, they take to the mattresses. So we put a mattress down on the floor in the living room, and I rested there. Even after sleeping, I had quite a few hours of rest. And by the next day I was feeling much better. What's the discussion here?
We go there, we go there.
Well, we're not going across the middle, are we? So that's not a third alternative. Is one way any better than the others, or any worse? Well, there's a lot of pointing going on.
Yeah, here.
Okay. Let's go.
Ato magutas may dapin-dapin nga na ay.
Ano naman bagumon, no? Pero ugag ng bagumon.
Sige na, bibi. Naog na, bibi. Dali na, bibi. Ari, sukat. Dali, kayo magsugba. Tayo kita sa unahan. Ayaw. Sige na, bibi. Yeah, there's some bagungon here. Yeah, cause we're gonna, what do you call that? We're gonna burn there. Can you hold our fire? Yeah.
I'm holding the fire. Oh gosh, I'm salivating just at watching you pick up those delicious items of food.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Dagan kayong isda. My goodness. Dito pati tayo. Again, nangit to. Kapila ka ba? Again, nangit to. Ay. Sakta lagi. Tigil kayo. Kasi may mga lipot na. Bit-bit niya, bit-bit. Napasok ko nila siya. Oh, tagal ako chocolate. And can you put in the bag?
Can you do
Yeah,
it?
look, we got a lot now. Tebet to. Tebet. Tebet na yun.
That's Rohan there, look, and he's got the Filipino tradition of putting a towel down the back of his t-shirt. Yeah. So there you might have a situation where you've got a designer t-shirt, beautifully cut and made to fit, and then they ram a big towel down the back like that. Be careful, Jessica. Hey! Now here's the deal. If you can see that I'm walking along and I'm trying, this is an uneven path, and it has not severe penalties for stepping off, but if you're paying too much attention to the picture, then you may actually walk off. You might walk off the edge, and you know what? Call me a wimp, but I don't want to walk off into the edge on that thing there, which looks like it might turn out to be the start of the day of the Triffids again. So I tend to do what I can on squinting at this very, very dark image that's in my viewfinder, my little screen, and I do the best that I can. I look at trying to keep the line of the horizon as high in the picture as possible so that I get everybody in, but well, it's the best I can do.